Welcome to the BigZo podcast. I am he is me. What's up with everybody out there, man? Hope everybody had a good holiday. We fresh up off Memorial Day. Hope everybody, got together with their friends, family, and loved ones. Ate some barbecue, played some spades, some dominoes or whatever it is, some taboo, some kind of games or whatever. I don't. I'm not a fan of. I don't play card games anymore. Like I know how to play all them shits, but I have retired from playing card games with black people because we we way too competitive. Way too competitive. Like you will fall out over a spade game, my G. Like if you underbid or your team get reneged, you will fall out. And I've seen videos where people have come to blows and been thrown out because a bad hand in a game of spades. Like it's never that serious, especially if there's no money on the line. But we way too competitive. We'll fall out over hopscotch. Like we like super competitive about the about the wrong thing, man. We too competitive. We need to just calm down. Like you be arguing over Uno. It argues over Uno. And for the record, nobody plays by the actual rule. Everybody or every group or every family had their own set of Uno rules that they play by. Nobody buys a deck of Uno cards or whatever kind of set it comes in and reads the directions. All we need to know is draw forward, skip, and reverse. We don't even know what happens after you. We don't even know officially what happens after you reverse. But we take card games and stuff, man, way too serious. So I've retired from playing card games with black people. That's just me. Take my black card, say what you want, and I'm gonna do you one further. I don't have to eat barbecue. I'm not a big fan of barbecue. Once a year, and I'm fine. I'm good. Give me a pork steak, a little some chicken wings or something, and I'm good. I don't have to eat barbecue all summer for all of the summer holidays, all of the warm holidays. We're gonna eat it for Memorial Day. We're gonna eat it for 4th of July. We're gonna eat it for Labor Day, and whatever is in between. Might barbecue for Father's Day. Like I don't once a year, and I'm good on barbecue. Maybe I just ain't had the excellent barbecue experience or something, but it all tastes the same to me. It all look the same and it all tastes the same. Everybody be posting pictures, on they little social medias and all that. Talking about caption be like, I did that. Everybody did that. It all looks the same. So you're not doing anything special. But anyway, I digress. I hope everybody had a safe holiday, man. Enjoy that time off from work. And got a chance to relax and be with your loved ones and kind of re-energize. Um, it's important. It's important to have that break from your everyday norm. It's very important. It's crucial to just have that day or two to where you can just kind of you don't have to be big dog. You know what I mean? You can just be who you are. You can be regular. You don't have to be superwoman. You don't have to be Superman. You can just kind of relax and just chill out and just be in your zone, be in your environment, man. But anyway, mine was good. Didn't do much. Just chilled out, basically. Chilled out. Uh, but anywho, I got a few things, man. Got a few things. I really wanted to talk about the tragedy in Texas, man, but I'm so drained and exhausted with that. Like that's it's hard not to get off into it, especially when it touches you. And it impacted me, man, because I could only imagine. You know, rest in peace to all the victims. You know, love and all them cliches. Prayers and condolences and stuff to the families, man, of the victims. Um, just awful, just awful. Um, I I don't want to get into that. It's just sad, man, and change has to come. It has to, because we can't keep going through this. And that's just the one that was highly publicized. But it's been about 15 to 16 more mass shootings since then. But just reading some of the stories and the headlines, man, about how the families were reacting and trying to do something about it, and they were being restrained by the police and all that. It's just heartbreaking, man. It's heartbreaking. It's heartbreaking. But I don't want to get into that, because I promise you, I've been talking about that till I can't no more. But you tend to get numb to it, but you can't ignore it. You know what I'm saying? That's one thing we can't do, because that doesn't solve anything. It doesn't make it not exist. But you know, but again, condolences to the family. Prayers to the family. You know, it's it's just devastating. It's devastating. But I'm going to move past. I don't want to say moving along anyway, because it's nothing to just uh, gloss over. But I was reading. I don't know how true it is, because I didn't actually hear it, but I read somewhere that Kandie Burress, who's a reality star but is known from the legendary group X-Scape, uh, she said that they saying, allegedly, she said that they would like to do that they can do a battle, a versus against Destiny's Child. And I love both when they were together, but I just, with all due respect, and I mean this with the utmost respect, I promise you I do. There is no way that they can compete with Destiny's Child in a versus. They have Escape had like 3 albums. Destiny's Child with new members and with old members and new members total. I think they have maybe 5 official studio albums, maybe 6. I'm not sure. I want to say like maybe like 5. Uh, but nah, it ain't happening. It ain't happening, because then what are you gonna do? It has to be, that wouldn't work, because it has to be too many rules and regulations with it. Because if I'm not mistaken, I don't think any Escape artist has went on to have a solo career. If they did, I could be wrong. I could be wrong, but I don't think they had a solo career. So it would just have to be literally Escape the group versus Destiny's Child the group. Because there's nothing you can do. You can't beat them as a group, and then there's nothing you can do once they get into they solo bag. It's over. It's over. I mean, what you gonna do with Kelly Rowland's motivation, or the cut she got with Nelly? Like, ain't nothing beating that. And I ain't gonna talk about Beyonce when she stepped to the center stage, and Kelly and Michelle kind of slide off in the cut and let her rock. It's no, 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 no. We're not doing that, and that's no disrespect. But we just gonna appreciate. We just gonna appreciate it for what it was, and we gonna keep it rocking. We gonna keep it pushing. They ain't no. That's not happening. But anyway, I saw this video of what's baby girl name, man? I don't want to mispronounce it. Koi Larae. It was like a little 15-second clip where she apparently she kicked a dude off stage. She pulled a fan or a guy on stage, and hit him with the little sensual little twerk session. She a little lap dance, and then when she got up off of him, she like bent over in front of him and got the wagging them little slim cheeks, and he smacked on the butt. He smacked her, either grabbed it, and she like stood up real quick and like she like pushed his hand away and was like, "Yo, get him off the stage." And they escorted my man off the stage. Which here's my question. Did he overstep his boundaries? I mean, like, where do you draw the line? Where do you draw the line? Like, I mean, if you pull somebody on stage to do that, I guess beforehand you could tell them, "Yo, keep your hands to yourself." But I think if you don't say keep your hands to yourself, like, what is my man supposed to assume with you giving him a lap dance? That's the go-to move. When you get in a lap dance, you been in a strip club, that's the go-to move. But she kicked my man off stage, and the boundary line sometimes is really blurry. The boundary line could be really blurry. Like if you don't like establish it like right off the rip, it could be really blurry. Like my man, she bent over and was wagging it back and forth, look like two little Twinkies out of the packaging. She was wagging it back and forth, and my man popped it, and she stood up and was like, get him off the stage. Like, what are you supposed to do? Like that's just not, that ain't right. You can't, that ain't right. Unless you would have told my man in the beginning, like, keep your hands to yourself. I did you a little lap dance. Do not touch me. And she sat on this lap and she was popping it. Then she stood up and did the little wag back and forth. For my man, he couldn't take it no longer. He smacked it, and she was like, she blew the whistle on him. The boundary line, man, can be blurry of things of that nature. And I ain't trying to get all deep and all that with the other stuff, but just like those little things, like those boundaries, man, it's a little different. It's a little blurry. It can leave your vision a little blurry, your thought process and all that. Because when you start, let me tell you something. When a man blood rushes to his area, he ain't got no common sense. Nowhere in his body. Once the blood leaves the brain, so does everything else. We're only thinking with one organ at that particular moment. Like the boundaries are just blurry. Like you're women, like they love to get head, but don't touch my head while I'm doing it. Huh? So what I'm supposed to do? What I'm supposed to do with my hands? Put them behind my head like I'm relaxing? Put them on your shoulders? That's whack. And I ain't talking about the disrespectful hand on the head where you trying to have snot bubbles and your mascara and all eyeshadow, all that's running. But just going along with the wave. You're just riding the wave. Like why can't we do that? Why do some women have a problem with that? And then again, on the other side, there's some women who, want you to bounce their head like a basketball. The boundary line could be it could be weird sometimes. It could be weird sometimes. So that's a good question. So what are some petty boundaries that you have? Like that's a no no. Like what's a petty boundary? Like I said, some women out there that enjoy giving head but don't touch their head while they doing it. What are some other petty boundaries that you have? Men too. Feel free to chime in to me. Men be acting like they're scared to talk on these public platforms, man. Like if it ain't, I'm noticing like if it ain't like a dude like trying to so-called check women or bash, dude's not gonna get behind you or speak up or say anything. Like you can just ask a general question, the dudes might like it, they may not, but they not gonna say anything. But let you go, hey fellas, why women always such and such? They right on it. Hey man, it's okay to have fun and joke around. To have a discussion jokingly. It's all right. It's all right. You got to be hard all the time. It's all right. So a little video, the men frolicking in the fields and all that. I thought it was hilarious. I ain't frolicking, but it's all right. It's all right. It's all right to step outside your everyday, macho facade and explore a different side of you. It's okay. I saw that it's a lot of talk about Bronny LeBron Jr. went to his prom, senior prom, I believe. He had an other on his arm, and hey, look, listen, man, my man's 17. It was just a lot of criticism coming from it. I guess because we have made LeBron this activist because of his stellar work into the community and speaking out against social injustices and everything that contributes to the destruction of black people. So it's actually kind of lines up. It's only right that they get the criticism for it, the way these weirdo social media streets is almost like that's what was supposed to happen. But understand something. My man's 17, 18, whatever, and he's already under the spotlight as an athlete. He's still a kid. He's still a kid. So what if he went with the other? So what? He's a kid. Let this man enjoy these kid moments, because my man about to go to the league, and he got some big ass shoes to fill. And if we think his pops is under the spotlight, my man finna be up under the high beams. So hey, let my man rock and enjoy these these young childhood events and these moments, man. Stop putting so much pressure on these kids. They are kids. And if that's the only issue you have with them, King and Queen James doing something right. That's hilarious. Like nobody said nothing when it was a video of him smoking weed. It was just like, oh, you smoking weed? Oh, all right, cool. All right, well, hey. But he go to prom, with a bunny. It's like, nah, we knew it. And then understand something. My man is in rare air. I'm sure his environment, his everyday environment, looks a particular way. So it's almost like, what do you expect? Not what do you expect, but there's a good possibility that would happen. But my man, he a kid, man. He a kid. All they did was just go to prom together. That's it. That's all they did was go to the prom together. No big deal. But that's one thing we do. We put the pressure on. There's no room for Not that that was an error or mistake, but there's no wiggle room to be human. It's like, yo, we have to allow that wiggle room to be human. But I didn't see no issue, you know. Kids, man. Just kids. But uh so discussion time. So the whole male birth control, the whole male birth control thing, and it looks like it's about to be a real thing. Like they testing and they doing that, and they actually are having good results with this male birth control. I think they're about to, if I read correctly, I don't know when, but they are prepping and getting ready to start testing it out on men. I was gonna say humans, but it's men. So it's it's uh it's about to it's getting close. But here's my question: with everything that's going on, with everything that's going on for us, the battle of the sexes, men versus women, the 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 lack of trust, just everything. Ladies, if a man tells you that he's on birth control, let's say this thing comes to fruition and it happens. So you meet a guy, you start dating, and now it's time to have sex. And he tells you, you go, hey, where that condom at? Where that condom at? And he says, oh, don't worry about it, baby. I'm on birth control. Or are you going to believe him? Or do this nigga got to walk around with paperwork showing that he's on birth control? Or I don't know how it's going to be administered, but will he have yo, a man walking around with the birth control pack, yo, that's a that's an ill thought. Do he got to pull out his birth control pack and show you that he took it for today? Or will you just take his word for it? It's already trust issue. Trust issues is already at an all time high here. So that's just one more thing. Yeah, I got to worry about. Is he lying or not? Where your birth control pack at? Oh, I left it at home. Now, do you roll the dice and trust that my man is on birth control, or what? It may be a shot. Who knows? I don't know. This is just for shits and giggles, but I'm dead ass about the question. Or you gonna trust the man that tells you that he's on birth control before y'all have unprotected sex? I don't think so. I don't think so, because I'm gonna be honest with you. We don't believe women when they say they're on birth control before sex. We just dumb enough to do it anyway. Because we like I said, when the blood leaves the brain, common sense, logic, and all of that goes out the window. All we know is we are a few seconds from having sex. We are a few seconds from penetration. Nothing is going to get in the way. So she goes, I'm on birth control. We might be like, I don't believe her, but let's go. We'll the pull out method. We just gonna shoot that back up. We're just gonna shoot it on the back or the stomach or wherever. I don't know. But y'all smarter than us. Are you gonna believe that? Is your intuition gonna tell you if he lying or not? Cause just like with that, just like with the vaccine, you better believe it. Yeah, I'm vaccinated. They ain't had one shot. Yeah, I'm on birth control. No, you're not. Show me your birth control pack. It's always a loophole. And understand something. We may not be, we may not, we may not apply our genius to things that are productive and that can help society, but we will apply our genius when it's time to get over and get our way to something that benefit us. So there's always a loophole to going raw. There's there's always a loophole. We will find a way to go raw. But just just something to think about because it's coming. I believe it's coming. Whew. I believe it's coming. It is coming. But it's just interesting to see how that's going to play out. Because it's crazy out here, man. It's crazy. Like it's amazing how these tables are turning and these roles are being reversed. And I'm just speaking like from a not even like getting all deep and profound. I'm just talking about like the things that we used to get blasted for or shamed for doing or saying. Now it's like it has been reversed to where the women are doing it to us, and now it's like cool. And honestly, my opinion, it's funny. It's funny to me seeing how women, calling men like, referring to them as like sluts and skeezers and all of that. Like the latest one, this whole Hoochie Daddy shit. First of all, if you go back and look at pictures from the 70s, from basketball just clothing period, like having your thighs out, this Hoochie Daddy thing, having your thighs out, that was the style. That was the style. But like everything with history, it comes full circle, it repeats itself. Just like clothing come back, hairstyles come back, slang comes back, music comes back, they redo old movies. It all comes back. But we always got to go too far. I don't have a problem with the shorts. I ain't doing it. But I don't have a problem with it. Like if you want to get if you want to walk around and have women calling you Hoochie Daddy and all of that stuff, that do you, King? I'm a grown man. We ain't doing that. Nah. The furthest I go is maybe like a little bit above the knee. But you're not about to see the definition in my thighs. Nah, we ain't doing that. We ain't doing that. That's for the crib. See how I respect me? Let's have some self-respect, King. Let's have some self-respect. Hey, don't be out here giving them thigh game, dog. They ain't did nothing to earn that thigh. Make them earn that thigh. Don't just give them the whole repertoire. I mean, they want the thigh and the print. They ain't working for the print. They ain't working for the thigh. Don't just give them the thigh and the print. Thigh and print. Don't give them the tap. Don't give them the tap. Make them earn that tap. Just giving the thigh up all willy-nilly. Nah. Make them earn that thigh. You want to see some thigh? Take them on a date. Just giving up thigh. But hey, to each his own, man. To each his own. I think it's funny. Like it's hilarious to me. Like I enjoy seeing all of this. Like it's just I'm a glutton for foolishness. The more foolish, the better. But get it how you live, thigh daddies. Get it how you live. I was watching this interview where this comedian was kind of under fire, getting backlash or whatever, because he said some controversial things, and to me, like, and I get it, given the times that we're in, I get it, but as a comedian, like, you gotta have that. You gotta be able to, because it's art. It's a form of art. It's a form, it's expression, and it's subjective. It's subjective. Everybody ain't gonna think everybody's funny or think the same thing is funny, or it's subjective. Comedy is subjective, but they have to have a little. They have to have some wiggle room to work, man, to be them, to be their most funny and most authentic self. Because to me, the best comedy comes from like personal experiences. Yeah, I enjoyed the whole slapstick, you know, three men walking to a book. I get it, but to me, the funniest stuff comes from like personal experiences, especially like when you're coming from a dark place, when you could turn something dark and turn it into light. Like, yo, that's when you in your bag. But I forget the content. I forget I forget the actual joke. But I was just like, yo, you can't as long as, to me, as long as it's not coming from a place of hate. And you could tell when somebody's coming from a place of hate. You could tell when they're coming from a place of love. You could tell when, it's just a person trying to be humorous. But my thing is, you have to be able to express yourself and be as authentic as possible. Yes, you're going to ruffle some feathers, but that's with anything. That's with music. It's with movies. It's with just giving a speech. It's with anything. You're going to offend somebody. Somebody's always going to have a problem with something. You can't please everybody. But you can't tell a comedian to be funny and then go, hey, be as funny as you can be, but you can't talk about this. Don't say this. You can't use these words. You can't talk about this subject. You can't do this. I need to write something down before I forget it. You have to be able to get your issue off. But cause that's like telling, I don't know. That's just it's kind of difficult though, because you putting them in a box. You put them in a box, and this is their bread and butter. This is how they earn their living, and you put them in a box, trying to put stipulations on how they do their thing. That's like telling Steph Curry, like, hey, go get me 40, but you can't shoot threes. That's gonna be a long night. And you can't do that. We shouldn't do that. Yes, you should be responsible with everything that you do. But at the same time, when it comes to art, there's going to be people that are for you, and there's going to be people that are against you. And I just think we just gotten into a really sticky place, man, to where where authenticity is becoming frowned upon. Excuse me. An original thought, an original opinion is becoming frowned upon. Like if you don't agree with the masses, then you're a hater or you're out of line because you don't agree with the majority. And that's nasty to me. That's nasty to me. I don't think no great person has became a great person by staying within the guidelines and the boundaries of the majority. Possibly, but I can't think of any offhand. If you think about whatever field it is, great leaders, great whoever, everybody had to step outside of their boundaries and go against the grain. And I just think that, we can't do that. And I only say that because, I was watching Cat Williams, right? His latest World War World War III, I think. And I thought it was cool. I thought it was just cool. It wasn't bad. But I'm looking at, I went and watched, coming from his previous specials, you could just tell the change in the climate, man. You could just tell the change in the climate. Like, I don't even want to go all that far back to like Eddie Murphy Raw, or for me, one of my favorite stand-ups of all time is Martin. You So Crazy. Like, you can't half of the things that they was getting off that are classic jokes, classic material, you cannot do today. They would have your head on a platter with the garnishes and all of that around it. And it's real different out here. It's real different. But with anything, man, with any movement, with any type of progress, it's pros and cons. And this is one of the cons though. But I really admire and appreciate the comedians who stick to their guns, stick to their formula, and they're not going to reform. You make a little adjustment, and that's fine. You should, because everybody should grow and evolve. You shouldn't be the same person you were however many years ago. Yes, you should grow and evolve, but I just appreciate them for staying as authentic as possible and standing on their views and their values and their integrity and all of that. They just tweak it a little bit to make it a little bit more palatable, and I don't have an issue with that. But it's like now it's like, yo, you deemed a hater, you deemed whatever. If you don't have if you go against the popular opinion of a particular subject. But fellas and ladies, nah, just ladies, cause I know the fellas answer. Uh, Ladies, how long before you dating a guy? How long before you let him go raw? And if your answer is immediately, it's okay. Ain't no shame in that. Get it how you live. But get it how you live. Going back to the birth control thing. So with condoms, you definitely should be safe out here and practice safe sex. But be honest. Be honest. I know the majority of them are like both, but be honest. When it comes to using protection, what are you really condoms? What are you really most concerned about? Is it the pregnancy aspect of it, or the STD aspect of it? And I asked that because I was talking to my homegirl, and she said flat out, she said, yeah, it's both, but she more so concerned with the pregnancy part of it. Cause she was like, yeah, her words, not mine. You can get rid of an STD. It's only one you can't get rid of. We know what that one is, and one you can live with. But the rest of them, you can get rid of those. It's the pregnancy aspect of it, and I appreciate the honesty, because I think that's a lot. I think that's a lot of people. I think that's a lot of women don't want to get pregnant. And we gotta stop shaming. Hey, parents, people with kids, stop shaming people who don't have kids into trying to have kids. Like, let them enjoy their kidless situation in peace. Everybody not in a rush to have babies. It ain't for everybody. Stop trying to shame these women into having kids that don't have kids, man. That ain't on everybody's agenda. That ain't on everybody's docket. Let them rock out. Let them rock out and enjoy being able to get up and go as they please, being able to travel as they please, being able to just leave the crib at 2, 3 in the morning as they please. It's all right. They chose their life. You chose your life. Stop trying to shame people who don't have kids and having kids, man. Like that's a real thing. I was like early 20s, and I was working at the grocery store, and my auntie, who I hadn't seen in like a couple of maybe like 3 or 4 years, had just so happens to come in there shopping, and she came back to where I worked and was like, "Hey, hug, shirt, exchange pleasantries and all that." And she was like, "You got any kids yet?" I was like, "Nah." She was like, "What you waiting on?" I was like, "The right person." Like I don't want to just be having babies. Like that's never been my thing. Like I ain't want to just be having babies. Like I wanted to be married. I didn't want no. I've seen too many people that I know and love, go through baby mama drama, baby daddy drama at an early age. Even at this age, like that don't look fun. No. That don't look fun. But she was like, "What you waiting on?" Just exact words. You might as well go ahead and get it out the way while you're young. And at the time, I'm like, nah, I kind of got shit to do. There's some shit I would like to do. That's not one of them at the moment. I mean, but I'll take your suggestion has been received, and I'm going to put it in the suggestion box. But nah, I got shit to do right now. Trying to get, trying to get this rap career popping. Yeah. But yeah, man, stop trying to shame people into having kids that don't have kids. Like, yo, that ain't the vibe. Yo, I wanna share something that's embarrassing. My son was asking me one day, has anything ever happened? We was watching something on TV, one of his little shows he be watching, and the kids were like in school, and some of the guys, they was in gym class, and some kids stole my man's gym clothes and burnt out. So he had no clothes, so he naked. So he had to come out in his towel and try to find his clothes. And I just asked him, like, "Man, what would you do if that happened to you?" And he was just like, "I would just sit in the bathroom the whole time." And I was like, "All right." So he asked me, "Has anything ever embarrassing happened to me?" And at the time, I couldn't think of anything, because I don't think I've ever been humiliated or publicly like embarrassed to where something happened. But then I had to do some reminiscing, and I came up with two things that I could think of. Like I don't recall. Maybe I blocked that part out, but I don't know. I can't recall. But all right, so the first one was when we was in high school. They was having like a food fight, right? And we ran up out the cafeteria, so now we like in the hallways chilling. We leaned up against the lockers, chilling, me and my homeboys, whatever. And out of nowhere, somebody threw a bowl. It come in a little styrofoam. It was a styrofoam bowl. Somebody threw a bowl of lime jello, and none of my so-called friends said look out, duck, or nothing. They just moved off the way. I wasn't paying attention. I don't know what I was doing, but it wound up hitting me. And at the time, I had an afro or a bob. It don't matter. However, I had hair. And when I say that lime jello hit my forehead, it was thrown. I don't know who threw it, but it was thrown to perfection. You know, you skip a rock in the water and it hit the water and it skip a gang of time. That's what it felt like, because that jello hit my forehead and like ricocheted through my hair, so I had like a lime jello streak It hit me and went through my hair, and I had like a lime jello streak in my head. And you know what I'm saying? Nobody looked out for me when I was a nice guy back in the day. But nobody said, "Hey, watch out." And the laughter ensued. But I wasn't really humiliated because that was like part of the food fight because we was throwing food. So hey, I was a victim of the circumstances. But the other embarrassing moment was I remember this, and this was the last time that I ever wore tighty whities. Was walking down the hallway with a group of friends who I thought were my friends, and this girl, and you know who you are if you see this, and this girl pantsed me. I remember having on some some little windbreaker sweatpants or something. And we walk in, I'm in the front, and out of nowhere, she just pulled them down like real fast. I mean, it was beautifully done. It was beautifully executed. It wasn't like a little bit to where I could catch it in time and pull it up. So a little bit of like she got me to the kneecaps, B. To the kneecaps, and I got books in my hand, so I had to drop my books and grab my pants and hear them pull them up. And that was the last time that was the last time I wore tighty whities. I probably would have still worn them after that, but her comment after she done it, you know what I'm saying? That was like that was like the dagger. She pants me, and she was like the goofiest. She was like the goofiest girl back in the day. She would laugh at anything. Like when she laughed, she get her money's worth. Probably still like that to this day. When she pants me and pulled my pants down on my kneecaps, and I bent over, and I'm a big guy. I always been big. I bent over to pull my pants up, and she was like, "It looked like you got a pamper on." And everybody that was around bust out laughing. Homeboys, homegirls, everybody. And that was the last time I wore big white drawers. And on that note, I'm out. Yo, be easy out here, man. Love on your loved ones. Love on your loved ones. Love on your loved ones. You can add to it whatever you want to. You just never know, man. Love on your loved ones. BigZo podcast, man. Peace.